radio station. WNB1 Radio broadcasting live 24/7. All music genres. WNB1 Radio. Your urban music link.
It's the Really Charlie Podcast. Yeah, it's the Really Charlie Podcast. Yo, it's the Really Charlie Podcast. Bumping through your broadcast. Grab a chair, fill your glass. Yeah, it's the Really Charlie Podcast. Yo, it's the Really Charlie Podcast. Yeah, it's the Really Charlie Podcast. Bumping through your broadcast. Grab a chair, fill your glass.
Hey, you are listening to WNB1 Radio, and this is the Really Charlie Podcast here on WNB1 Radio. Today's guest is my longtime friend, Diane Langford James, and she is the author of Breaking Cycles and Building Your Legacy. Definitely a great book. I have it here, autographed and signed. Don't be jealous, just get your own. All right. What's up, Diane? How you doing?
I am fantastic. How are you?
This is round 2 for us, right?
Absolutely.
We are definitely, I mean, the radio station's happy and so fortunate to have you here because you're talking about building your legacy. You have your own legacy. You're doing the many things you're doing. We talked earlier off air about Torch. We're talking about your book. And never mind all the other stuff that are there and that are in your tracks, and I think that what you're doing for the community, especially when you're trying to do that interaction with the youth and with Torch, that was a tremendous program. You had me participate in it, and we're going to talk about that during this podcast. But I just want to let you know that was a great way of mentors and mentees talking to each other, having a conversation, which actually leads to friendships.
Oh my goodness.
So I'm very happy that very happy. So meanwhile, anyone listen to us here on Facebook, please share this podcast on your profile, and make sure that your post is public. All right. Diane, you can go to my page, click share. Boom, it's going to be in your page. We'll have some interaction with many people that we know. And let's go.
And I wanted to make sure that I made it public. So
yeah.
So first, as always, I want to thank God for allowing me to be here, allowing me to be anywhere.
Awesome.
We talk about legacy.
Yep.
And Charlie, I want to thank you.
I want to thank you let me just make sure. Good, very good. All right.
We're just taking care of little technical.
Yeah, we want to make sure that your friends.
Yes, make sure it's public.
Make sure your friends hear us. And now we want to go here.
There we go.
And we want to go to edit privacy and go to
Look
public.
at you techie.
And we are good.
We are good. Okay.
All right. So the let me do what we agreed on, right? And I'm gonna read this. This definitely, this foreword in this book is by George Zalucki, right? Zalucki. All right, I want to get that right. I don't want his kinfolks to get me. Yeah. It said Diane's story is an epic journey from the deep darkness of drug addiction and all the horrors that accompany the curse of addiction. Her story offers true hope and belief to anyone currently living with the evil powers of drug addiction. Her healing started the day she recognized she was powerless by herself. She needed help. She surrendered. At the moment she gave her resistance, the healing power of God was the healing power of God was now there to guide her way back to life of the inner peace, forgiveness, and self-love. Self-love, that's key. The greatest teacher of all time, Jesus Christ, became her co-pilot to victory. Belief based upon one's personal faith is beyond logical validation of needing proof or needing proof. Observing the way one lives their life is the only validation needed. I believe that God never leaves us.
Mhm.
We, however, can and do leave God. Observe our world today. That's all the proof you need. Without God, Diane's life was a living hell. With God, Diane is lighting up the world with her love for all and her unrelenting service to others. Amen. From where she was to where she is today is a miracle. I strongly recommend this book to anyone who is addicted to drugs or knows somebody who is, and I urge you to pass it on.
Mhm.
Now, George is an internationally renowned personal development teacher, speaker, and life coach.
Yes, he is.
So awesome. See, this is. I mean, the cover is fascinating because it has your beauty on it, right? And we see your, and this is a great cover, and I like the way you done everything, right? The breaking is in a different color. Cycles comes out, which is real important. People don't realize that. Sometimes they think cycles are a routine or the course or the path that you're supposed to take. So, but let's talk about this book, right? What brings you to this book? What brings you to the idea or the brainstorm to say, hey, it's time to write a book?
Wow. Good question. Um, Actually, God,
Yeah. Okay.
uh, I'm inspired by God saving me, number
Mhm.
one, because as we talked a little bit earlier, how many people are not here
Yes.
today? How many people have left us? And how
Mhm.
many people do not make it out of, unfortunately, the addiction? So, yes, God. And then I've been blessed to be clean 32 years
Amen.
plus, and I
God.
couldn't get, as we talked before, 32
Mhm.
seconds, right?
Yep.
And so I needed to really share and give people hope that it really does happen. My story is my story. And I say, if
Mhm.
anybody wants to go back and live there, they can have their self about
Mhm. Yes.
I can't change that. I didn't, and I don't believe, like we spoke before, that anybody is growing up and say, well, I want to be an addict.
Mhm.
Happens to be that it happens.
Yes.
And then once it does, unfortunately, the disease really does take over.
Mhm.
Okay, our thoughts, our actions, everything. It justifies everything because,
Yes.
as it says, it's just jails, institutions, and death. That's
Mhm.
the true fact, or no quality of life at all. It'll be existing, okay,
Yes.
and not thriving.
Mhm.
So, yep, that was it, God. And then I wanted to give hope. 3 reasons. I wanted to give the formula on how I did it because it took me so long,
Mhm.
Charlie. Oh my God. I went to detox after detox after
Mhm.
detox after
Yeah.
detox. I'm like, oh my goodness.
Yes.
And there were so many reasons and why, but just detox after detox, and I just could not get this. Um, and so I did the
Mhm.
how it happened, how God saved me and how I did it. So I have a 4C formula.
Hmm.
The C starting each one, which is identifying the cycle.
Psycho.
And
Yeah.
like you say, Charlie, there's so many cycles.
Mhm.
There are so many cycles. I heard somebody yesterday say the cycle of crime,
Yep.
the cycle of generational curses, the
Okay.
cycle of education,
Mhm.
spiritual sound, the cycle of fatherlessness,
Yeah.
cycle of mother. There are many cycles that we can break that don't serve us.
Mhm.
Every generation should
Yeah.
be better than the next.
It should.
So it was identify the cycle, whatever the cycle is. Doesn't have to be addiction. We want to live fruitful lives
Mhm.
and whatever's not serving us. So identify the cycle that's not serving.
And sometimes those cycles are
Oof.
all in one room,
Mm,
right? Can you all within one person, one family, and but as an individual, you may be going through all that, and so I definitely hope that more and more people buy this book and just basically read it. Read it. I started reading it, and I'm going to continue to read it, and because it's essential. two of the books that we that we got. I passed it on, paid it forward to a couple of people, and so I want them to actually add to add to your book by writing reviews, writing experiences, talking about it, even coming on a Really Charlie podcast, whether it's on the social media and jot down a something a comment. The writing books is very very time consuming. At points it can get frustrating, and frustrating just by the editing, frustrating that to validate whether your story is worth putting in it. And sometimes you may get some critics to say, no, don't talk about that.
Right.
That's not something you should put in a book. So as you go through the good, bad, and ugly of writing a book, because there's always, I think there's ugly in every situation, but you got to turn it around,
Sure.
right, to make it good.
Motivation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, use it for motivation.
What was the one positive thing you got outside of you, that that motivated you to get this book going? With a person or experience?
My grandchildren.
Grandchildren.
Yeah, my grandchildren, great. They had they did me a Mother's Day video one day, and it was so beautiful. And they asked questions to each one of my grandchildren.
Yes.
And one of the questions was, "What would you like to know more about?" And they said her younger years.
Nice.
So it was right there. It's like, oh my goodness. So I was like, okay.
I like that.
I was like, okay. So that really inspired me to do it, even though, I talked about, like you say, some of the good, some of the bad. It is what it is. It can't hurt me now. But I talk about the cycles, Charlie.
Yes.
And then I talk about the challenges. The challenges, the triggers. And when we know what those triggers are, which are people, places, and things,
yes,
then we know what they are. We're aware. Now we're aware we can do something about it.
Yes.
Okay. And then we talk about the challenges. Then we talk about the choices.
Yes.
Yeah, you got choices in life. Yeah.
You sure do.
Yeah, this is.
And one choice that you continue to do is try to reach out to others, right? We already know you love yourself. You're loving yourself, and I say that in a good way, because this is how you. And George talks about it.
Yes.
How you and that's great. So now you kind of teaching others and talking to others. I mean, if I actually people in my circle or that I know, I wish they were lined outside this door of WNB1 Radio, and we could say, hey, I'll give you 5 minutes to talk to Diane. She's going to give you a solution, right? And you would. You probably. It was funny because my friend Bobby at work, he's like, I asked him 4 different questions today, right? And he's like, I'm 1 for 1. I'm 2 for 2. I'm 3 for 3. And I'm 4 for 4. So in your case, you can offer a solution that's probably the right one, but that person has to take
there you go.
That solution, that resolution. And once they take it, they're going to say, she was right.
Information is so important. That's so true, because we only know what we know. And if we don't have other tools or techniques, then how can we make the best choice at the end of the day?
Exactly.
We don't come with instructions.
No.
Okay. We learn from our mistakes or somebody else's. And then we do the call to action. Like you say, they've got to make that choice, and now they've got to put it into action.
True.
So.
It's when you think of all the things in your life, say, what am I going to write about next? What are you going to write about next? Right? Well, it never stops at one book. I'm just letting you know, it don't stop at one book.
I was talking to my grandson the other day, and we said, stop stopping. Just keep it going. There are so many things.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Stop it.
Yeah.
And keep going. But there's so many things. I'm really want to do author talks and talk about the book. I
Mhm.
really want to go around and talk about the disease because I believe it's a disease.
Yeah.
And we could take it from there. I really want to support that. And then what I've realized is that I get to have a cause.
Mhm.
Okay. There's so many causes out there.
Yes.
And I'm saying, okay, so part of my proceeds, what am I going to do with them?
Mhm.
And so I was a teen mom.
Yes.
And so I've decided to work with teen moms.
Very nice.
Isn't it just,
Yeah.
God will give you these
Mhm.
opportunities, I think,
I-
that but I decided I'm going to work with teen moms because I was a teen mom.
Yes.
And most times the cycle will continue.
Mhm.
They'll be in a place, it'll be safe, they'll be a teen mom. But when they get out, then the cycle will continue because they don't have the mentorship or
Mhm.
the information to make the better decisions and know about self-love
Yes.
and know how important that is.
Mhm.
And know, yes, okay, you've done this, so take care of this and now make better choices and
Yes.
find out who you be
Mhm.
and love yourself and
Yeah.
not just keep repeating the same things.
Exactly.
So the cause is going to be, so when they buy the book, good Lord
Mhm.
willing, right, it'll be going to a cause too, not just to me. It's about serving and giving back.
Yeah. And it's and that goes back to you just appreciating um where you what you have become, right?
Mhm.
And trying to give back because I'm pretty sure that the visions and the perceptions that you see in your surroundings, whether it's personal surroundings or public surroundings, you can relate to what you were going through and say, man, hey, young lady, let me talk to you. Let's talk.
Do some workshops.
I know you're angry, but let's talk. Let's
Yeah,
just,
and it's okay.
yeah.
And it's okay, and it's not just being angry; it's what you do with it.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's not, so it's emotions, and we all have them,
Mm-hmm.
right, Charlie? And it's okay.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, love yourself, have compassion.
So true.
Start the next day. My mother taught me something. My mom was a
Mhm.
yellow cow.
Yes, I love it.
Eunice, God bless her. So,
Mhm.
and my father, which
Yep.
the golfer, and my wonderful dad, they taught me something very important at the
Mhm.
end of their days here in transition. I was blessed to be with both of them as they transitioned, but they both had so many regrets, Charlie.
Mhm.
So many regrets because life goes by so
Yes.
fast,
Yes.
so fast. And that taught me to do the best I can every single day.
Mhm.
And when I lay my head down, not to have any regrets.
Yes.
To have some lessons and let them learn
Mhm.
learn from those lessons, but to do the best I can.
Yeah. And that's good friend of mine. We talked today at the end of the day, and I got a shout out to Margarita today. We talked about a few things, and
Okay.
so and a friend Tony in the office, and we had a kind of end of the day conversation, right? And it talked about regrets or things you think about, and it actually triggered something with me, and something that I want to do, and so I'm going to do that based on that conversation.
Mm,
Never sell yourself short when you're having a conversation with someone because you never know where it's going to lead them,
that's right.
right? And so we have a simple conversation,
Mm,
and now it triggered something good for me,
yes.
and so I'm glad. And
Yes.
so how do you, when you're having these conversations with people, do you they always say that let's I want you to talk. It's not about me. It's not about me putting this book on you. It's not about me. Let's talk about what you want to talk about.
Mhm.
And too many times we don't do that. And people are like me, 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 me. And I'm like, no, wait, just be there for that conversation. Listen to the person, all right? See what they have to say. There's a woman in California, Mary Lee Sweeney,
Okay.
and she wrote this book. It's called, it's Love, and it's an amazing story. And she talks about all those things. We got our first comment. Let's go. Let's go to this comment here. Marie Lee, all she does is give. That's amazing woman, and we agree. You know, we I'm right there.
Do you know who Marie Lee is?
Yes, and
Come on.
that we
The one and only.
yes. So it's
We're
a
gonna shout her out too. Okay.
yeah, and I think that it's good to see friends,
Yeah.
yours and mine, on this comment.
Yes.
And she talks about it, like, give, and that's all you do. That's all I remember of you,
Mhm.
way back when.
Wow.
So Diane is giving, giving, giving.
Mhm.
You know what? That's a good start. That's a good to make a cycle, right? Talk about breaking a cycle. You're gonna make a cycle.
There you go. There you go.
So, oh, Nana did this, and yeah, I'm gonna do what Nana did, right? And
Oh boy.
and mom did this, right?
That's the building legacy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Right. You know, your girls did great conversations, right?
Mhm.
Awesome conversations. Laugh,
Mhm.
joke, um, supported me over the years, just like I tried to do for them.
Mhm.
So you are making a good cycle, and I'm so happy for you. So
But it happens with people, Jonathan.
yeah, it does.
It happens with people like yourself
Yep.
because see the word's getting out. It takes a team.
Hmm.
It happens with Officer Leanne Fisher Ross.
Yes, yes, yes,
Who's been out in this community. I love me some New Bedford.
yes.
Who has been in this community for over 20 something years, being an officer. Lord have mercy.
She's
And
dynamite.
family. Talk about a giver.
So proud of her.
Okay, yeah, she's amazing. So shout out to you, lady.
Yeah, she needs to get on the podcast soon.
Oh Lord,
Instead of
takes well, yes, she
fooling
does.
around,
Yeah, she does.
I forget. I forgot. It was like 4 figures I got to pay her to get on the podcast. She.
That's all.
I
Well,
said,
maybe three.
no, it was 4. You know what? I try to use my card, and talk to family of hers, and
Great to get on a podcast and talk about
such a
the cities
slacker.
and
All she wants to
share.
do is
Yeah, she's amazing. It takes one to know one.
yeah.
So, like today I was with her, I was riding around New Bedford, because, in New Bedford, I moved here, but I also had an addiction problem here.
Hmm.
And I'm riding around looking at places and reflecting and just thanking God that I'm alive
Yes.
to be able here to make a difference. Because you're right, I am a giver.
Yeah.
Right? I'm a giver. And if we listen, like you were saying, to people when they're speaking,
Hmm.
we can hear what they're saying, and deep listening is very important.
Yeah.
Because it's not about us when we focus out.
Exactly.
It's all about them. That's right.
Yeah.
And when they win, we all win.
Yep. But
Yeah.
I mean, giving. Yeah,
I love her.
giving is giving feels good to me,
Oh, my
right?
goodness.
So
It's the best.
I'm pretty sure, and I almost can say, yeah, it does the same for you.
Yeah.
Um,
Like
but,
George Zalaki, he was a giver. He
Mhm.
read this book and did this book, him and his lovely wife, Eloise. So, George, if you're listening to this, and
Yeah.
I pray you will, and your wonderful wife, Eloise, thank you so much for all that you do and all that you do for humanity and continue to do. So,
if
talk
you
about
care,
giver.
if you care, how'd you guys meet? Was
Oh.
it a McDonald's drive up? What was it? How'd you
are
guys
so
meet?
silly. I can't with you. No, I was in this business with it, and he was one of the motivational speakers.
Oh, nice.
And then after he got off the stage, we had a conversation, and we've been friends ever since. And I want to say, wow.
That's nice.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Energy negates energy.
Hmm. Yeah.
It really does.
It's some of those keynote speakers, everyone may believe, or some people believe, that they came from academia, and you know what? Yeah, they did eventually, but there's a lot of people that are going to different auditoriums and venues and bringing in hundreds of thousands of people.
Sure.
And you know what? Their experiences, a school of hard knocks, school of hard experiences. And sometimes that's the best schooling, And then you add a combination of that with, with the fine institutions we have throughout this state, this country. Now you're like, all right, I'm gonna apply what I've learned
That's right.
in the concrete campus or seats, and what I experienced. And now you was a what do you? It's a thesis. What do you do in your doctors? What's it called? Dissertation or something. Dissertation. All right. So when you do that and then you put all that in there, it's like boom.
Right.
And but it's I'm glad that you and George cross paths because there's some people that I met through this podcast, this station,
Mm-hmm.
that I would have never met if it wasn't because of the podcast.
There you go.
And then with you, visiting different forums and venues. If you wasn't involved with that, you might have not met George.
That's right.
So
That's right.
and here he is on page 4 in your book.
He's right at the beginning of the page.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's let you lead in a conversation. What do you want to talk about?
Lead in a conversation. Well, I want to say that you were just speaking about today's times
Mm-hmm.
and so many opportunities out here.
Yeah.
And I believe that when we invest in our youth, they're our future and the future is now.
Mm-hmm.
There are so many distractions for our
Yes.
youth, and so many issues, concerns, and situations. But it takes a village,
Yes.
and it's an inside job. And so I'm a firm believer in social emotional intelligence inside
Mhm.
because I love going inside and there's urgency in what we do.
Yes.
Let's clean it up. Let's change the narrative to that
Mhm.
story,
Yep.
and let's go because they're our future.
Yes,
And
they
if
are.
you think we have an opportunity now, can you imagine them that we invest in? So I talk about that, and we'll be doing some social emotional
Mhm.
trainings with the Torch Foundation here in the city, and we'll need support from
Mhm.
everyone. New Bedford School Systems, Greater New Bedford Folk, and wherever we need to go where the teams are at.
Yeah.
So that's my charge here, and that's why I'm here because I love New Bedford.
Good.
I love New
Awesome.
Bedford. I don't live here, but my daughter's here, my family's
Mhm.
here, everything is here, and I love New Bedford. So besides being where I'm at now, and
Mhm.
I'll be right here. This will
Good.
be my home where we're going to be making a difference, and it'll take all of us to be able to do it
All right.
together.
Well, we still got your name. I forget where you wrote your name in the concrete somewhere in the neighborhood. So it's still there. It's gonna be there a while. No New Bedford. We don't dig up infrastructure, as you can see in the potholes or everything else.
And I
But-
just want to say we all have a story. Everybody
Yes.
has a story. We do. But it is our duty, honor, responsibility to live the best life we can in spite of all of that.
Yeah.
We've just got to link arms with everybody, and life goes by so fast.
Mm-hmm.
It really does. And everybody deserves it. So I talk about my book. I talk about my teen years and
Mm-hmm.
how I thought I was going to just jump on a plane and go to California way back in the day. I'm not
Yeah.
going to talk about the broad strokes about me
Mhm.
real quickly.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
So married twice, blended family,
Mm-hmm.
6 children.
Yeah.
21 grandchildren,
Awesome. That's
5
great.
great grandchildren, and a whole host in the community.
Yeah. You know what? That
They tell me I turned 72 last year.
you don't look
So you better
72.
watch yourself
You
now.
don't. Right?
I said, dear God, let the inside be as good.
That's
But,
it.
every day in every way, I'm a first generation college graduate.
Very
I
nice.
raised 3 grandchildren for
Mhm.
over 20 years, which
Mhm.
a lot of grandparents are doing today.
Yes.
They kept me young, and so I've broken cycles in my family
Yes.
of addiction,
Mm-hmm.
of education,
Yeah.
of spiritual soundness, of financial bondage.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't realize I was doing that. I was
Yes.
taking responsibility. And then I looked up and realized, oh my God, I just broke these cycles.
Mhm.
So when people just take responsibility, look out for the resources, look out for support, and we can change anything.
Yeah.
We can do
Definitely.
anything.
Y'all here on the Really Charlie podcast, right? And you talk about
I just
cycles.
love you. Go ahead.
Now your cycles, right,
Mhm.
have formed some. Now we have straight to the point sports talk.
Uh-huh.
So we need to get some of those Langford boys on here,
Yes.
and have them kind of come in. I know they're doing their thing,
Oh, yeah.
but whenever they're around, we need to have them in. Even if they call in, during, throughout the season, if they have a chance on Thursday, 6 to 9, straight to the point and talk sports. They're playing it. They're doing it.
Yeah, Demar, did you hear that? That's my son. Where are
That's
you
it.
at?
That's it.
Demar Langford, do you hear that? We're going to get you on the podcast.
That's it.
And
Straight
he
to the
is
point.
one in his South in regards
Yeah.
to love sports. And
I
just a great man, period. Not
Yeah.
because he's my son,
Mhm.
but because he is.
Yeah.
Right? And it's just amazing. He has 2 sons, D1
Mhm.
schools.
Yep.
He has a couple more sons coming up, and
Mhm.
him and his wife, and it's just amazing. So, yes, Demar Langford, we'll have to get you up in here. So,
Yeah, definitely.
you'll have a ball. with that.
Between Brian, Derek, and Steve, they were just kind of
And he loves him some
Yeah.
New Bedford.
Yeah.
Okay.
so.
Okay.
See, it's gonna be
Mm-hmm.
so. That's a link for number 2 coming on WNB1 Radio.
This is what we do, right?
Yeah,
This is what we
definitely.
do.
We let me see.
Joey said he's here. So, hi, Joey, again. Joey's always here.
He
huh?
is. Yeah,
Well, he's on my end.
he's on your end.
in my comments. So, yep. So, there we go. Hi, Joey. How are you? You're
What's
always
up?
here, huh?
Yeah, that's my man. I love him.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, he needs to come on it too, so we can talk
Yes,
about some
absolutely,
Votech basketball.
Okay.
I definitely would like that. The I I have a book that someone's editing and they're working on,
Oh,
and
really?
that,
Okay.
so we're gonna try to do something soon.
Nice.
But when are you gonna have a book signing?
I had one soon, right after the first of the year.
All right.
To answer your question and be quick.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll figure out. I did one at the library here.
Okay.
It was wonderful. It was just getting started because you're an author, new author. You figure
You
it out,
did
like,
tell me
what-
that.
What do
Yes.
you do? How do you do it?
Yeah.
So yes, I will come here. I will get a venue, however that looks.
Mhm.
And right after the first of the year, we'll do something. How's that?
Okay. Good.
Where are we going to go, Charlie? You
I
tell me.
don't know. It's you got to pick a good spot, a right spot,
Okay.
because I find that some people pick locations and it's not the location for your book,
That's right.
right?
That's right.
So you have to pick the right spot. So we'll
Okay.
definitely talk about that.
Oh yes. That sounds really good.
Myself and Gail Gonzalez, we're going to be collaborating, doing something, and getting that going. So January looks like the time we're going to do it too. So I will really want to do something, as far as you and your book, and so we gotta definitely talk and get that going.
Sounds like a plan. Yeah, right after the first of the year because we're coming on the holidays.
Yeah,
and all
yep.
that good stuff.
All right.
And there's a Noah. Sonia, I see she's here. So hi,
All
Sonia.
right.
That's my daughter.
And anything you see
Because
a comment,
Sonia-
Sonia. I love Sonia.
Thank you.
Sonia,
I know.
that's it.
She's here as well. She's here. Thank you, Sonia.
I
And
love
Noah.
it. Awesome.
Noah. Said
Let
hi,
me see.
Charlie.
Oh, yeah, my man Noah. Hey, that's another great kid. Great kid doing
Thank
some
you all
great
for joining
things.
us.
And now he's mentoring people. So, but that's awesome.
Yeah, so the book, and basically it tells about my teen years. It tells about how I had crossroads that changed my life forever by making that choice, that one choice. Talks about the kids, and then it talks about the drowning in addiction.
Okay.
I really came in the day before I died.
Mm,
That's the truth of the matter.
wow.
And people say to me, why are you so happy every day? Lord, if you only knew. I
Yeah.
am so blessed to be here and to be able to make
Mhm.
a difference. So every day I get up and about God's business. Talked about how I lost 2 sisters,
hmm
both at the age of 35, to drug addiction, and how that really was what woke me up
hmm
at the end. Once I came to terms
Yes.
with it, and I decided I was going to live for them. And so many other people here in New Bedford and everywhere, at Brockton and Worcester. Then it talks about how I broke the cycles, and how I came in and I just put my head down, and it didn't matter because once I realized what I was doing, nothing could stop me but me.
hmm
That was it. I was on mission.
Yeah.
Mission
And
possible.
you should.
Mission possible. Yeah. Yeah. And then it shows at the end how I go out and how there were days, because like you have days like how that are roller coasters. And it talks about days how there were some days that my grandkids would send me a letter or write about somebody that was significant in their lives.
Yes.
and they would write a letter to me, and I would get it from school, and it
Mm-hmm.
would just fill my tank up and keep me going in spite of
Wow.
the things that were happening.
Mm-hmm.
So I say to people, I always like a call to action.
Yes.
So I say, number one, take care of yourself. Love yourself. Look in the mirror
Mm-hmm.
and love yourself. That's who you be, period. Okay? You're worthy. Take care of yourself. You deserve the best. I know it's not easy in this world,
Mm-hmm.
but one small step at a time
Yes.
will get you where you want to go. One small step at a time.
As you going through those steps, right? And you're saying, all right, family's gone, friends are gone. I need to get that self-love.
Mhm.
So as you try to get the self-love within this community,
Mhm.
in my experience, that usually fails us,
Mhm. Mhm.
right? And I say us because we're all part of it.
Unfortunately, it can.
As you're talking and going through whatever was New Bedford a help, or did you need to go elsewhere to put you over that, over to cross over toward your self-love?
Actually, what happened is I was watching some commercials on TV,
Mm-hmm.
and they say call this number if you needed some help.
Yep.
So I called the number, and that's what got me. So you can be sitting by yourself one
Yep.
time, or you can be understanding like, okay, enough is enough.
Mm-hmm.
You could be having, which I did. My kids went with my dad, so now I didn't have my kids. I mean, things are happening.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, when you take care of yourself, there's nothing that you can't redo or reclaim in some sort of way,
Mm-hmm.
shape, or form. So that's what I did. I called the number, and I ended up in Worcester.
Awesome.
I ended up in Worcester, and then finally, after all those detoxes, I ended up working there, volunteering.
Mhm.
You know how we do.
Yeah.
We give. So I ended up volunteering at a human service organization.
Nice.
Halfway houses for women,
Mhm.
halfway houses for men. So I was right in my element, So I ended up working there. And then I ended up getting a job there. So
Awesome.
I ended up staying there. But I've always been connected with here,
Mhm.
with New Bedford, because it is very dear to my heart. And I know that in this community, we can do so much. And like you say, there are going to be people that don't agree, and it's okay.
Mhm.
Let's just go in another door.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, it's about results.
Mhm.
And when we have results that speak volumes, there's nothing you can do about it.
Wow.
Like even at our torch trainings, we had third-party verifications.
Yeah.
Charlie, and it wasn't what I was saying. It was what the third party, what the data was saying.
Mhm.
And it says that 100% of our team see value in what we do.
Wow.
Amazing. It's an awakening,
I can-
So yeah, we just have to understand there's going to be yays, there's going to be nays.
Mhm.
And you just keep moving. Don't take it personal,
No. Move on.
because hurt people hurt people.
Mhm. Yeah.
Healed people heal people. So find the people.
I agree.
I
I agree. This is something that I'm really enjoying this conversation because over the years we didn't have these conversations. It was usually something you were doing that we had a structure, we had a itinerary, so or it's hi, goodbye, I love you, how's the family,
all surface.
big hugs, and
Yeah,
I don't know,
yeah,
and
no courageous conversations,
Mhm.
no deep
Yeah.
conversations.
Yep.
Just about, oh man, life is so beautiful.
yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
So now we get here, WNB1 Radio and this Really Charlie podcast, and
Yes.
we have this conversation,
Mhm.
which I hope leads to other people out there talking. You mentioned the comments that you're receiving on Facebook.
Mhm.
I'm receiving. I wanted to lead to other conversations. I wanted to lead to someone kind of listening to you and say, I know what that number is. I'm going to call it.
Right.
I'm going to call it. And it's I miss people like you, right?
Mm.
I miss people, and I'm always searching and looking for people that can kind of give that third party experience, or that vouch for different things, of what I may be experiencing or what I seen as a child or even as a grown man, and I want to talk about it. I think that there's a friend of mine, and I'm gonna mention his name.
Oh boy.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Little Flip Bros.
Yes.
This guy is energy. His energy is just unbelievable.
Yes. He just
And
got an
given,
award.
yeah,
My
and
goodness. The con man.
yeah,
His
to
awards
give him an
at
award,
the
yeah,
Boys and
the
Girls
Boys
Club.
Club.
Thank you, con man, too.
Yeah,
We'll get a shout
yeah,
out to you. Yeah.
and I'm so happy that here's another individual
Yeah.
giving.
Yeah.
I tell this story to him all the time, right?
Mhm.
And he's had his times,
Yes.
and in and out of trouble, but
Yeah.
and I says, with me being
He's doing
former police officer and him being a former
Shaquama, yeah.
former
Create
friend,
havoc.
yeah, former lifetime friend, right? So I said, if I was ever chasing you, you would first start out laughing, and I would have no problem identifying you with that crazy laugh, right? So every day, every week, I talk to him, and I tell him, I says, I need that laugh for the Really Charlie podcast,
Sure.
and he's like, all right. So, and I said, ready? We're gonna record it, right? And we never do it, right? It never comes out the same way. So,
Yeah,
but
he's a good guy.
that's another giver from the
Yeah.
same neighborhood,
Yeah,
same
yeah,
community.
Good heart. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's
Um,
coming up. He'll do a podcast.
Yeah, he wants to come on in January. So,
Beautiful.
but he's got to come here because we talked about technical stuff,
We
right?
got Jamar coming now. We got Flip. Okay,
Yeah,
let's keep going. We
we'll
got
keep
Leanne.
going. I got 52 weeks out of the year, right? So let's do it. We'll put them all in. I ain't counting on Leanne, right? I'll get Mr. Fisher here before her. It'd probably be on.
She's a force to be reckoned with, though.
Yeah.
She's
She
really
keeps
a
it
force.
up.
She could just come speak from her heart.
I'm gonna talk to her folks. She don't answer my get on this podcast. We gotta talk about you and from
We'll get her.
from
But we're doing the torch, and we've been doing the torch since 2015, I believe it was, in New Bedford too.
wow,
I
yeah.
have to give a shout out to the city because when we first got here, the city supported us.
Mm-hmm.
United Way here
Yep.
from New Bedford supported us. So we get to come back and to really, especially after the pandemic,
Mm-hmm.
with all the social emotional, with this vaping and all
Yeah.
of this stuff. Oh no, we need to take our kids back, or the streets are going to eat them up.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
let's invest in it. Let's get together, do a
Mhm.
couple of trainings, see the results, and the rest will be history. We can turn this city around.
We sure
And
can.
That's a fact.
Yes.
That's a fact.
In fact, I need you to. We got to get you connected with, Brian Magnet and Margarita Graham, and so you can get the station involved and help you with that torch program because, especially with me going through it, I know how
Yes,
rewarding it was, and
Thank you, child.
definitely a 5-star program.
Yeah, we had Robert Mendes too. From
That's
the
right.
executive director. Shout out to you too.
Yeah, Mr.
Okay.
Mendes. He's
Yeah, and the teens now, and again after the pandemic, most of them are home. They're not in these safe places where we can really teach them.
yeah.
I mean, before it used to just be a safe place.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's a place where we can educate them.
Yeah.
Because it takes a village.
Mm-hmm.
So we need to all work together to make this, a great place because it is. New Bedford is a wonderful place.
Sure is.
You
I love it. Wouldn't want to be anywhere else. And if I was anywhere else, I would always come back.
There you go.
Right.
Just like
Yeah.
me, right? See?
Yeah,
See?
and that's what I
right.
did.
That's right.
3 years LA, 2 years Florida, come back home.
Yeah.
I love home. I like what it offers. And you could say whatever you want about it.
Hey, they're gonna talk whether you do good or bad
Yeah.
anyway, right?
It's not about you being happy where you live. It's about me being happy where I live, and I'm happy to be here. So
Yeah, you're making a difference with this podcast. I'm loving it. I see.
yeah,
you.
this is
Woo.
we
You
have
are
some fun.
promoting.
We're all trying to do some things here, and there's some great brainstorming going on where WNB1 Radio is going to offer some more things other than what we already have, from the podcast, from the radio 24 hours 7 days out of the week. Please add WNB1 Radio to your apps, your Apple or your Android device, and go to WNB1.com. Spell out the word one.com, and you can see everything that we're involved in. Actually, you know what? You're pretty good. You're a good co-host because I gotta definitely. I'm gonna have to. We want to talk about the ugly sweater party, and then we'll get right back to Diane.
Okay, there you go.
Let me
Sweater party.
let's try that.
Let's do it.
Let's get this
There you go.
Let's get this flyer up
There
here.
you go. Here's the flyer. Everybody, come on out.
All right. And I'm going to read from the paper because I got old man eyes. The Ugly Christmas Sweater Party, December 8th, 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. That's at 222 Union Street, New Bedford, Mass., which is the Harbor Hotel, the New Bedford Harbor Hotel.
Uh-huh.
Purchase tickets at WNB1.com. Early bird cost is $20 or $25 at the door. Includes fun, food, and a cash bar. This is brought to you by and sponsored by Latinos of the South Coast and South Coast Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, along with the New Bedford Hotel, Harbor Hotel, and WNB1 Radio. This Friday, come join us. Friday, I already have my sweater. I'm ready. I bought Michelle a sweater too, Yeah, and actually we want to talk about the book right now too. So
there we go.
Look at that book.
Look at
that book cover is amazing. So it's Breaking Cycles and Building Your Legacy. And when you kind of look at it, there's a lot in that title, And, it's something that I feel that sincerely came from Diane, and it means a lot. And she's, everyone has, people have theories, right? And you got to put your theory to practice. And in this book, she puts her theories to practice, and it just starts with the title, Breaking Cycles and Building Your Legacy, which is Diane has done.
How do you like the subtitle?
Finding Redemption on the Road to Recovery. Ooh. Awesome. And in fact that, you know what?
Finding redemption on the road to recovery.
I can write about that.
Oh, you can write about everything.
I can write about that.
And you can buy the book at Amazon online.
Yeah,
and Barnes and Nobles.
Yes,
that okay?
That's right.
I just like to read the back of it really quickly.
Go ahead.
Okay, it says Breaking Cycles and Building Your Legacy. Have you ever sat back, asked yourself, why me? Why my family? Why us? Why them? Breaking Cycles and Building Your Legacy captures the answer to the long-standing question that finds us asking, how did that single choice lead me here? Following a caring woman's unrelenting journey from the valleys of addiction, homelessness, jail, institutions, and near-death experience to the mounting top of redemption. This memoir provides the reader with practical and proven tools like the 4C formula that supports the reader in developing a voice and vision for their life. There's no greater time than now. You have the power to make this the moment you have been waiting for and take on your life. We welcome you to your newfound family and community, the Cycle Breakers.
Awesome.
How about that?
You trademark that? The Cycle Breaker? You better trademark that. That's nice.
Yes, sir.
The back cover, the front cover, and everything in between the book is truly amazing. Diane talked about, you can purchase the book at Barnes and Nobles, Amazon.com, and definitely do it. I have my own. I'm not letting anyone borrow my book because I have some suspects that got some of my books throughout the Bristol County, and they never return them. So never return them. So buy your own book. I'll give you $5 towards a book. That's about it. But I ain't giving you my book. So, all right.
Well, speaking about that, let's
Yeah.
do this.
Yep.
Let WNBA one
Yep.
radio station. Somebody gets in touch with you,
Mhm.
and I will for Christmas donate $5 to the first 5 people that.
We'll do that.
So I'll leave you $5
Yeah.
today.
All right.
Okay.
And I'll.
You do your due diligence.
We sure will.
It's all
I'll
up to
actually.
Really Charlie.
I'll talk to myself and the other host, and
Okay.
and we'll do that.
Okay.
Because it means a lot. And if you can't afford a book, let me know, and I would gladly do whatever I can and help you out to get your own book. And if you want an autograph, let me know. Then we'll do a couple of things and get Diane to autograph it for you.
There you go.
I asked this question during all my podcasts, and my question is, who would you like to see on the Really Charlie podcast?
Oh wow, good question. Wow, good question. Sila. His name is Sila. He's a rapper in this city.
Mm-hmm.
And he's doing some amazing things. So I will connect him with you.
Yeah.
And hopefully that we can get him on the podcast.
All right, we'll do that. I'll send him a official text, email, and saying, look, you was suggested by, Diane, and we'll go from there.
Absolutely.
Just trying to fill in the blanks throughout the year, especially January 2024 and on. We want to make sure that we line up my guest for every single week, and they may not be able to come on, soon, but they can come on later.
Right.
So we kind of want to set those dates in stone and make sure that we get the good people on. All right, that's good.
And there we go.
All right, you have an opportunity to say any lasting remarks.
Well, I'd like to say again, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, I thank God.
Yeah.
And I thank you, and you, and you, and you, because without you, this wouldn't be possible. I'd like to say have a Merry Christmas, as happy as it can be, and a Happy New Year. Set some goals for 2024, because if you don't have any goals, then where are you going to?
Mm-hmm.
So set some goals, even if there are small ones for right now and small steps, because you are worthy, and you get to break any cycle in your life that doesn't serve you, and know that you are here with a purpose to do something and to give your gift to whatever it may be to this world, because we all have a gift. And thank you.
See, that belongs on the back of a book. You got the recording. We got to put that on audio, so be on your next back cover, right? This is something special to me. Diane has done a huge justice for me, and you hear her with the praises that she gives me, and but you know what? I've seen nothing but beauty in her inside and out, and I'm glad she's here. I'm glad that she's receiving, all this love from herself and beyond when it comes to the book and the Torch program that she has. We are definitely we got a diamond in the rough here, and so we're gonna keep polishing her up and keep letting her give and give and give, so we can save some lives.
We'll be back.
Yeah. All right. Don't forget to check me out on Facebook Live. I will be on with Paula Santos Young, and we talk about fentanyl facts and stories at 7:30 every Wednesday, and I do that from home. And we they're doing so many different rallies throughout the country, and with the Sackler family and everything. So, and the opioids and its addiction. So we're talking about it. Paul is trying to save some lives, just like myself, and we're trying to do it every single day. So please join us. Join us tomorrow at 7:30, and And don't forget the ugly sweater because you know what? Some people don't need Crispin to wear an ugly sweater because they're wearing it every single week. You know, there's a lot of ugly sweaters. Yeah, a lot of ugly sweaters in New Bedford. And I'm glad I don't wear any because I probably wear an ugly sweater too. Like brother with his Bill Cosby sweaters, you know. That's long dated, you know. He's wearing these. But anyways, that's yeah, we gotta love life. All right, everyone. Thank you. And we are gonna end with my favorite song.
Watch out for this song.
My friend Diane is here, and I appreciate y'all joining us.
Yes.
Thank you for all the special comments. They really truly mean a lot to us. All right.
It's the Really Charlie Podcast. Yeah, it's the Really Charlie Podcast. Yo, it's the Really Charlie Podcast. Bumping through your broadcast. Grab a chair and fill your glass. Yeah, it's the Really Charlie Podcast. Yo, it's the Really Charlie Podcast. Yeah, it's the Really Charlie Podcast. Bumping through your broadcast. Grab a chair and fill your glass.